Hi, Sandy. How are you?
I'm good, Sid. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's
Thanks for
good
having me
to,
back on the show.
yeah, likewise. I'm glad to catch up with you today, especially on today's topic, which is just to refresh myself from IT to organic gardening and your views on AI sustainability. And what's the last one? What's the last section? I'm so sorry.
I think that was it, wasn't it? I don't know, it's
I
been a
know
while
it's okay.
But yeah, I think we're talking about technology, IT, and how it all fits in with the organic world.
Yeah. Okay. So my first question to you is, why did you choose to leave IT just as the AI revolution was gaining momentum? What motivated that decision?
Well, I think back November 22, when ChatGPT was first released,
Mm-hmm.
I was in holiday. I was in hospital taking a holiday,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
wondering or contemplating a career change.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, all the hype around AI and the potential job losses kind of
Mm-hmm.
narrowed my choices on what that new career would be. And so one day it just dawned on me, AI is not going to be able to touch nature. So perhaps I'll
Mm-hmm.
take my love of gardening and try and make that into a business opportunity. But having said all that, I didn't actually leave IT behind because I took it with me. So that's where I am.
Okay. What inspired you to transition from a career in IT to starting an organic gardening business?
And then the short answer there is that I want to spend more time in the real world rather than in
Mm-hmm.
cyberspace, just
Mm-hmm.
because it feels more real and
Mm-hmm.
life is short. So working in with nature is more aligned to what I think reality is.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to go down that rabbit hole because we might not get out of it. But yeah, in short, it's about living real, living at one with nature.
How do you see technology, including AI, playing a role in modern organic gardening?
I think technology, especially AI, is going to be a game changer, not by replacing the gardener, but by allowing us to garden smarter and more
Mm-hmm.
sustainably and more creatively. And then people are also more concerned about where their food is coming from. So,
Hmm.
other than AI, I think the blockchain is going to play a major role there. Because of its tamper-proof ledger, people can
Mm-hmm.
follow their product, from the time the plant was planted, how it got
Mm-hmm.
fertilized, how it got transported, how it ended up on the shelf. So definitely blockchain can help answer those kind of questions or those kind of
Mm-hmm.
problems. And of course, social media and apps in general can educate on scale. So yeah, I think those are the three techs that will really make a difference towards our little business here.
Can you give an example of a technological tool or innovation that has significantly improved your gardening process?
Well, I could say a garden spade. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it, and it does make life easier. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, when I first started gardening, or which wasn't that long in terms of how old I am,
Mm-hmm.
but every day 4 o'clock I'd take out my hose pipe and water my garden because that's how my stepfather did it. But
Mm-hmm.
once I started using gardening apps, I realized that some plants only want water every 2 weeks. They don't need water every day.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, my garden is healthier, it looks better, and my water bill is a lot less.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Do you think AI and machine learning can help optimize organic farming methods, or is it better to rely on traditional techniques?
I think both. Excuse me. I think both. AI can't replace generations of knowledge by
Mm-hmm.
data alone, especially when it comes to local climates and
Mm-hmm.
just little quirks that we have in our own environments. But I think AI itself can definitely help with precision agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
So it can help us manage our resources better and and help us to grow smarter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most, or at least many organic farmers are going to prioritize the relationship with nature over efficiency, and I think that's good, very good. But for Earthborn, at least, we're going to go for a hybrid solution where we use both technology and automation, but very much hands on the dirt care for the plants themselves.
What are the key technological advancements in organic gardening that you believe will shape the future of the industry?
I think for big farms, it will be the smart sensors and the internet or IoT. For example, a connected system where you have automated drip irrigation based on real-time soil stats, how much water is in the soil at that time. But for the smaller growers, I think it's going to be AI-powered plant care assistants that can help them with their schedules for watering and fertilizing or identifying plants and diseases and whatnot.
Okay. How do you think AI can be used to make organic gardening more accessible to urban communities with limited space?
Oh, I like this question. I mean, can you imagine taking your phone onto your balcony, onto your rooftop, and then just scanning the area?
Mm-hmm.
The AI knows where you are.
Mm-hmm.
It knows what your weather patterns are
Wow.
like. It knows what plants grow in your area. It also knows what the market looks like and what plants are needed. So imagine that app now taking all of that data that it knows and using augmented reality displays, a nice layout for your garden on your balcony. So things like that definitely can help. And then again, the smart apps where, to help to educate, mostly educate. A lot of people are scared to try gardening because they don't know, they think that they can't, but you've got all of that at your fingertips. You can ask, if your plant doesn't look nice, you can scan it and the AI can tell you it looks like this, that, or whatever, or help identify the pest and tell you what organic means are there to help you resolve that issue. I think there's a lot of scope for AI in different systems, like in a web platform maybe where you don't have a large amount of space, but you get involved in a community project, and the AI can help with plant swaps and just share the local data, like what community events are coming up, what plants are needed, and stuff like that. So it's really great in bringing data together and sharing. So, yeah.
Okay. What are some of the biggest misconceptions you think people have about AI in agriculture?
Geez, where to start? I mean, there's so much negative hype around AI. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest ones is that AI is going to replace traditional farming or traditional wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not true, because AI is really just an assistant, a really good assistant that never sleeps and remembers everything. But really, at the end of the day, it doesn't dictate how you farm. It just analyzes data and offers suggestions. At the end of the day, it's the farmer that makes the choice. And then I think one of the biggest misconceptions on the positive side that we can fix very quickly is that AI is only for big farms. That's not true. I mean, anybody with a phone can be using AI to make the experience better.
Okay. How do you balance the values of sustainability and organic practices with the use of advanced technology in your business?
Well, first, the Earthborn started with values and not tools. So it's really important for us that AI helps to serve our mission and not the other way around. I think in my mind, knowledge is sustainability, and that's and that's Earthborn's primary mission, is to educate. So
Mm-hmm.
the AI from that aspect will help us, but it's helping us achieve what we've set out to do. Right now, I'm busy using AI to triage the three main entities of my business, which is plants and medical conditions and scientific studies. If I had to try and do that manually, it would take a very large team and a long time. So I've chosen to use IT, tech, and AI to help me achieve that goal. But when it comes to the actual plants, we're very much hands in the dirt, and following organic practices and relying on nature and its cycle. So that's really how we balance out what we use with tech and what we don't.
Okay, what role do you see technology playing in the future of sustainable agriculture?
I think the big one there that at least AI might help us to solve is soil regeneration. If you look at farming practices over the last 100 years,
Mm-hmm.
they have killed a lot of natural bacteria that we get in soil, and that translates to disease in humans because those bacteria are needed within our own ecosystems. So I think that the data that we're collecting and feeding to AI is going to help us to regenerate ecosystems more intelligently, and hopefully makes farming smarter and not just faster.
Okay. Do you think consumers are becoming more aware of the importance of organic and sustainable growing methods?
Definitely, a lot more people are asking what's in their food, where did it come from, and how was it grown. And then also the climate crisis has made people more conscious of their carbon footprints and water use, soil degradation, and loss of biodiversity. So definitely, I think that's one of the, I think I mentioned that one of the problems or one of the ways that blockchain can help build trust again in the farming industry. Yeah.
Okay. How has your background in IT influenced the way you approach business management and operations in your organic gardening venture?
I think my ability to map interconnected systems definitely helps, and that's come through all those years in IT. Because in IT, everything is a system. You have inputs and outputs, feedback loops, etc. And gardening is very much the same. It's a living ecosystem. So naturally, we want to optimize, the cycles of planting, composting, watering, etc. And so I tend to lean into data. So whether it's the composting or the planting, whatever, I'm trying to optimize those cycles. And because I lean into data, I look for insights and I spot patterns, and I'm able to make informed decisions based on that data. But while I'm applying the data-driven thinking, I'm also trying as best I can to respect the natural rhythm of nature.
What challenges did you face when trying to integrate technology into your organic gardening business?
Well, I'm very conscious that, first of all, keep in mind that we are still very new. So a lot of my challenges are more in the decision process on what technologies to use. And keeping simplicity and purpose rather than shiny, pretty looking features. And then also, I think one of the big challenges is going to be that the gardens aren't always Wi-Fi friendly. So the apps that we develop need to be have the offline capabilities that people can, use when they're off the Wi-Fi. And then the cost versus the return on investment. But I'm quite lucky because of my IT background. I've been exposed to a lot of the cloud and the different cloud providers, and I'm able to do a lot myself. So I can build systems for a lot cheaper than if some other people who might need to outsource that task.
Okay, so my final question to you is, what advice would you give to other IT professionals who are considering transitioning into a more eco-focused or agricultural career in the age of AI and tech innovation?
I think you must remember you don't need a degree to start farming or start gardening, at least growing. But so start with curiosity and don't seek perfection. And also to think regenerative and not just sustainable, because sustainability will keep things going, but regeneration will help to heal and rebuild. But I think most importantly is to expect a mindset shift, because tech is fast and agriculture is slow and code is logic driven, but nature is alive and unpredictable. So I think that's it.
Okay, all I got to say that thanks so much for your time and hope to catch up again with you soon.
Thanks so much, Sid. Enjoy your weekend, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
Thank you. You too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.